All right. It is 7 PM. I will call this village board meeting on Thursday, April 3rd, 2025 to order. The first item on the agenda is going to be the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. The clerk could please call the roll.
Trustee Eipert. Here. Trustee Frank. Here. Trustee Beglin.
Here.
President Gerke.
Here.
Trustee Dorwart.
Here.
Trustee Bartz. Here. Trustee Miley.
All right, hearing that we have a quorum, we will move on. The next item on the agenda is for public comments. Again, I have to say that I limit it to 5 minutes per person for anything that is not on the agenda tonight, please. And if you could, please state your name so that the clerk could record your name for the minutes, and also anybody that is on the audience online can hear us clearly. So,
For the record, we do have one guest, Steve.
Steve, okay.
via Zoom.
Steve is there. Steve, if there's something that you would like to say, if you want to make any sort of comment, please let us know now in the chat. And if not, we will see if there's any other public comments here from the audience. Anything from Steve? No? All right, hearing none, then we will move on. Yes,
I did not finish the minutes
Oh.
from the meeting, so
Okay.
when we approve, can we just make a motion to approve the general fund water and sewer invoices?
Absolutely.
If that's your wish, but the minutes aren't done yet.
okay, as the clerk said, so for the consent agenda, the minutes of March 20th, 2025 village board meeting are not yet complete. So for this consent agenda, we will be approving general fund water and sewer invoices, and I do not believe there are any additional bills. Correct?
Correct.
Right.
Approved consent agenda.
My second.
All right, I have a motion and I have a second. Are there any questions? All those in favor? Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we would normally have report on village committees. However, this Parks and Recreation Committee meeting is actually happening next week. So that will be on the agenda for the next village board meeting. Unless you really wanted to say something.
No, I said he was gonna give that.
Yeah, who knows?
No, we don't know.
Nobody knows.
Not your problem anymore.
Yeah, not your problem anymore. Well, you can come back if you
Come
want.
back and give her a warning.
She's busy. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're leaving town.
Yeah. Right on. All right. Then we will move on for items for discussion and or action. The first item is a motion to approve Clerk Johnson's attendance at the 2025 Clerks and Treasurers Institute. I don't know if you want to say anything or if you just want us to approve it.
I can just say it was a condition of my hire. I am obligated to go. And it's a good time. I learn a lot every year. This is my final year. I'm gonna graduate this year. Oh no. At the Clerks Institute, my final year at the Clerks Institute, I am graduating. I don't know
So-
what I've ever
so
earned.
when-
It just took 3 years of Dan's life.
I mean, not that it's my problem anymore, but.
So when you graduate, you'll be an official, like certified state of Wisconsin clerk, and that's a high honor and credentials that really not most clerks in Wisconsin do not have. So
Okay.
you should be
I'm
excited.
excited. It's been a great opportunity and I hope you'll send me again this year,
I guess we should probably let her go, huh?
I guess.
You may go to the conference and not let her go.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna let her go. She can, well, depends where.
Okay.
We'll see what the board says they want to do. Yeah. I don't.
I will move to tender to Treasurers Institute.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and I have a second. Are there any questions on that? And I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have a motion to approve Director Paulus's attendance to the Public Utilities and Waterworks Institute's Leadership Training Program. I'm guessing he doesn't get fired if he doesn't go to this either, but whatever.
Part of his review and feedback that we worked on together was he wanted to take some sort of leadership class, right, to be a better fit in his role as leading our Department of Public Works. And so we looked around at different options, and the fact that this one is specific to Public Works, right, he's going to be there with his peers. It seemed like certainly the best fit for him.
Where,
I'll make a motion to approve Director Quallis's attendance to the Public Utilities and Wastewater Institute Leadership Training Program.
all right, I have a motion and I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have a motion to approve change order number 3 for Highland Drive reconstruction. I guess I'll let our administrator run with this one.
Sure. This one's fairly easy. So this is still involving Highland Drive. They are done, but there's some cleanup items, like spots on valves that they need to clean up, adjusting some pieces. So this gives them the adequate time to do that. So it extends their deadline to complete to May 15th. If you look at the packet and you look at the change order, you can see a breakdown of the total costs. So the original contract price, actually, I'll back it up. The original amount that we planned on this project being is about $1.2 million. The project came in at 933. Through the various items that we added, again, through past change orders that brought before you all, it added 74,000 to the project. But then we subtracted 50,000 of expenses in the project as we shrunk other items throughout it. So you can see the only difference really from beginning to end is an increase of about 20,000, which is still a decrease from our original estimate of about $180,000. So we're sitting pretty well. They'll finish up in May 17th or May 15th, and we'll be officially done with Highland.
Excellent. Any questions, concerns of the board?
I'll make a motion to approve change order number 3 for Highland Drive reconstruction.
All right, I have a motion and I have a second. Any more questions on that? If not, call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And finally, we have a motion to approve the prepayment of loan number 02024093.01. Looks like it has a balance of $106,100, or is that the original loan amount?
That was the original amount. So as part of our 2-year debt structuring last year, we had, various large amounts, and then we had like one small loan through the state. And so this is that small loan. It started off at 106. Because we had unused debt dollars last year, if you remember in the budget, we accounted for that. So we had about $68,000 of unused debt levy from last year that we rolled over to this year in anticipation of paying this off. So I asked Ellers to give us the final full payoff. That's what you see in the letter that's attached. That's 98. So 68,000 would come out of that debt levy that rolled over to this year. And we proposed the 30,000 just come out of our reserves. That pays this loan off completely, and provides 2 benefits. One, your debt levy, which is the amount that we put under the tax roll, will be less, which means it's going to be less of a tax burden onto our taxpayers this year. And 2, it'll give us more breathing room than next year when we do this whole process again and borrow for new projects and do all of our planning. So certainly a win-win to pay this one off early while we can and reap the benefits moving forward.
Awesome. Any questions of our administrator on this one? All right, what is the pleasure of the board?
Number 02024093.01 in the amount. What was the amount?
Looks like 98,171.11. Does that sound right?
You got it.
11. State trust fund.
Okay, I have a motion. Is there anybody that wants to second that?
I'll second.
No. I have a motion to second then. Any other questions? Now I'll call the question. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, we do have some correspondence from the Mid-Moraine Municipal Association Legislative Committee meetings on April 9th. This is for all of the, members of the board or any of the new members that are going to be coming on as well. The topic of this meeting looks like is local board development, rules on virtual participation, communicating with constituents through social media and more. That looks to be a good one, probably pretty appropriate. Encourage anybody that would like to go to it to let the clerk know. Or, yeah, probably let you know or just go, right?
You can just go.
Oh, you can just go. Okay. Perfect. And that's all the correspondence that we have, correct? Right. Are there any items for future consideration by the board?
Motion to adjourn.
No, we're not quite there. All right, if not, then I have something that I would like to say. So as we get set to adjourn this evening, we're not quite there yet. I want to take a moment to reflect on not only my time as president, but also provide a word on the future of Fredonia. It truly has been an honor representing Fredonia for the last 7 years. I often joke with my family that my youngest daughter, who is 6, doesn't know a time that I didn't work for the village. And she asked me the other day what I'm going to do now that I don't have a job anymore. Looking back on the work we've done over the last 2 years, we have so much to be proud of as a board and as a community. Together, we've tackled everything from infrastructure improvements and modernization of parks and facilities, all the way to the extremely in-depth work, including countless hours of data analyzation and review of neighboring community ordinances to ensure that our citizens had the absolutely perfect opportunity to own and raise up to 6 chickens on the property with a permit that I'm sure that everyone in the village has obtained who requires one. And no ducks.
And no roosters.
And no roosters. If I had to pick the one thing I'm most proud of during my time on the board, however, it would be a sense of community that I feel like we have regained in Fredonia. When I first moved here in 2016, we faced a challenge as a community to find our identity and hone in on the necessary steps needed to provide our citizens with a chance to gather and celebrate in their community. With the help of many residents and businesses stepping up to volunteer their time and resources, the opportunities we now have here locally are quite amazing. From fun before the 4th and the Madonia Kids Mud Run to the Winter Walk and Tuesday Tunes music series, it seems there's always something going on in Fredonia now. I want to publicly thank the Friends of Fredonia Parks and Recreation nonprofit for the role that they've played in bringing these opportunities here. And I also need to give a special shout out to another individual who has sacrificed countless hours of her time for the benefit of this community. Without the leadership of Trustee Bartz as the chairperson of Parks and Recreation Committee during her time on the village board, none of this would have been possible. So thank you. I'm excited to see where our next board and even our future leaders after the incoming board take this community. The saying, "It takes a village," is a proverb that often is attributed to the necessity of a network to create a successful outcome in a particular situation. Here in the village of Fredonia, the meaning literally couldn't be more literal. This is especially true of those elected and appointed to various committees. I believe that each of you commit your time because you love your community and you believe that you will leave it just a little bit better than you found it. I certainly hope that as the sun sets on my time as president, Fredonia can look back and be proud of where we are now. Finally, to the residents of Fredonia, get involved. So much of what we do here relies on you. This is our village and your village, and each of you has an opportunity to make an impact outside of just casting votes in elections. Run for office, volunteer for committees and at events, attend board meetings and committee meetings, submit public comments, and use your voice to positively impact your community. The opportunities here are endless, and most do not require a huge time commitment. I also want to thank my family, my wife, my kids. They've put up with a lot over the last 7 years. And their commitment to me means everything. So thank you to everyone who has served with me both in the past and the present, and to the citizens of our great community. You are all remarkable individuals, and I wish you nothing but the best in the future. May God bless each and every one of you, and may God bless the village of Fredonia in the United States of America. Thank you guys. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are out of here at 7:15. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I do wanna let everybody know that there is some cake here. Trustee Bart's brought in cake. Fantastic. Wants to stay and have some, please feel free to do that. Be great to have anyone stay and talk and everything else, so. Thank you guys very, very much. Probably stop recording now.